Hi, Chris Conway here, and I'd like to do another talk about video about my work with Dan Britton in our duo. And we recently had a concert just 2 weeks ago, and it was our only one of the year, unfortunately, but we had a great night at the Musician Leicester, and a big full house, and we played an hour and a quarter set. We had one opening set by our friend Andy Griffiths, but we did this hour and a quarter set, and it was really nice to have a long set to really get into it and have fun with it and relax with it, and we did yeah. And whilst I was on stage, I was reminiscing about how we got together and about the works we'd produced and so on. So I thought I'd do it on here. It's very easy to trace when I first met Dan, because basically he turned up on track 3 of this album, Leaf Storm, Dwellers in the Mirage by Leaf Storm. Now this was basically in 1992. Dave Everett and I were making an improvised sort of jazz atmospheric album, recording it at his house, and Dan was a near neighbor, and he dropped by and on track 3, and he stayed and recorded the rest of the album with us. So we were called Leaf Storm for that project. Then what happened was Dan and Dave were in a songs duo called the Storm Thieves at that point. And I joined them as a song trio, and that was the Storm Thieves. And we had a great time in the early 90s, about 93 to 96, 97, something like that. And we made 3 studio albums and 2 live albums, and it was a great, exciting time, an interesting mix. We were 3 singer-songwriters. We alternate songs, we all sang together. Harmonizing was a big thing. And our different sides. It was nice to. It was a good blend. It was a good blend, and we enjoyed it a lot. That didn't really split up. It dwindled really as we all got busy on other projects. Dave was busy in a band called Lascaux State Opera. I was quite busy with Jazz Orient, and at the time, I think. And then slowly, though, Dan and I started working together again, because for quite a basic reason, that we realized that the 2 of us and a PA could fit in a car. So we started gigging in local villages, mostly pubs and places like that. And yeah, we started, we did some obviously Storm Thieves stuff, and other things came in, and we did some covers and things. But we started working on an album, and we made this one, Just Be Real. And it was at a friend of our studio, Kev Reaver, which was next door to the guitar shop that Dan Britton was working in. And so after work, we would go there, and it's a very nice, relaxed, informal place. And we laid down this album in 2001. And it was really our calling card for many years, and largely the backbone of our set for a long time. Yeah, it was quite a rocky influence on that one as well. You can see we were having fun in the studio. It was recorded live with the 2 of us, and then we added stuff on, overdubbed other things on top of it. But the root of it was kind of a live performance. Then, yeah, we were playing quite a bit live then as a duo, and we had a regular monthly spot at a place called little village of Bugbrook, and after doing several months there, I think it was about every month or so, we went there once, and there was an awning board of who was playing, and we just pulled up at the place and it said, tonight, Don Burton and Chris Green, and we still, it really tickled us as how they totally got our names wrong, even after having played there a lot, but we sometimes refer to each other as Burton and Green for comedic effect. But these times are recorded on a live album that we made. I had a sound recorder. I was just recording all kinds of live things. And this was in 2003. And yes, some of this was recorded in Bugbrook and also at quite a big festival in Leicester, in De Montfort Gardens, and some at the Musician. And yeah, I mean, it's a very honest live sound, but captured that time. We also made a couple of trips to Edinburgh, and I'd forgotten this. We played at the Edinburgh Fringe a few times, and the first time we played, it was a golden kind of visit, because we played in the Princess Street Gardens at an event in a big stage with a backdrop of Edinburgh Castle. And I think we just had half an hour slot or something like that. But it was being filmed, and they gave us the video. And rightly or wrongly, we sneakily made a DVD of it, Live in Edinburgh. That's the stage, and I guess that's us on it. And yeah, I mean, I don't think we ever sold many of these, because it's very homemade. I think must have taken it from the DVD and, no, taken it from a video and transferred it to CD, and just handmade a few for friends and family, really. But yeah, we made quite a few trips, but no trip was quite as good as that first one. The year after that, we went and we played the same thing in these wonderful gardens and that stage, and it absolutely tipped it down. But the first year, that stage, it was sunny, it was packed, and we sold 35 CDs, paid for the whole trip, so that was a golden trip. So then there was quite a bit of, we just carried chugging on, really, occasional gigs here and there, but a lot of time had passed, and Dan had been working on solo albums, I'd been working on solo albums, but after a bit of a gap, I think we realised that we both had a handful of songs that we could do together again, so we started working on this album at my studio. It's Safe Harbour, and I was just listening to this yesterday, and I was just really pleased how good this is. We put a lot into it, and you know, it's one of the, there we are, we even had a photo shoot, as you can see, from the back and the front. But yeah, that's a great album, and we did a few little gigs and tours and festivals on the back of that one as well. And this was 2016, so you can see quite a bit of time had passed from 2003. So it was, but I think it's both of our strengths come together in this. We alternate songs, but we're all represented on it. And as that had gone well, in I think 2019, we produced our most recent album, Wonder, and there we are in Dan's kitchen. And yes, I think the problem with this is we released it, and I think Dan was poorly, so we couldn't have an album launch for a while, and then by the time it came out, it was already old, and then the pandemic, so it didn't quite have as much of a follow-up with gigs and tours and things like that. So, but it's still another great album we're both proud of, and we put quite a bit of work into it. And so there we are, up to date, really. We still do the odd gig together, and it's always a boost. We often say that Dan's kind of the engine, because he's so very energetic and strong, and I'm like the fairy dust over the top. That's what we combine very well. Dan's got more of a rock. It's like countryside. We're both in Govannen, of course. That's also been one of the reasons for that gap in those albums. Govannen has been a big part of our working lives. But we both have a bit of Celtic in common, and we both have a liking of West Coast 60s, 70s American singer-songwriting. And I've got a bit more jazzy side, Dan's got a bit more rocky side, but it all seems to come together, and I think it's a partnership I value anyway. We bring the best out in each other, I think. Anyway, I feel like that trip through Conway and Britton, or Burton and Green, or whatever we're called, and I hope you listen to it. They're all online. If you look for Chris Conway Dan Britton on Spotify, or we have Bandcamp as well, you can find us there. And yeah, have a listen to them and see what you think. Thanks for listening. Bye.